Hey guys, Quacker Spooks here with another set of NFL predictions. This time it's week 7. So this week we have 13 games. This will probably be one of the shortest prediction videos. If I don't spiel off about, whatever. But, the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the New Orleans Saints. I'm going with Jacksonville. I've already solidified my picks for this week, so the Saints are coming off a loss against Houston. And now they got to go play Jacksonville tonight. I think Jacksonville has a good offense. If Trevor Lawrence plays, then that would be fantastic. If not, then CJ Beathard gets the start. And as for the Saints, they haven't been looking too great, especially with everything that has happened. Like considering, I don't know. Nothing really happened. It's just the Saints are 3-3. They started the year off 2-0. Remember that. And then they lost to the Packers. And then I thought they were going to be good because they looked fine in the first 2 weeks, but now they're 3-3. So I'm kind of losing faith in Dennis Allen. So I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They will be 5-2, and the Saints will be 3-4. There are no international games this week. There will be international games weeks 9 and 10 in Frankfurt, Germany. So keep an eye on that. There are no bye weeks in week 8 either. So there will be the whole 16 games. The Atlanta Falcons take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going with Tampa Bay. I know they lost to Detroit, but Atlanta also sucks. So you got to remember that Tampa Bay is currently 3-2 and are leaders in the AFC South. The NFC South, my bad. Usually the Bucks beat the Falcons. I mean, that was with Tom Brady, but if Baker Mayfield can beat them, then that would be fantastic. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. They will be 4-2 because they already had their bye week, and then Atlanta will be 3-4. So that's just a typical Atlanta Falcons season. The Las Vegas Raiders take on the Chicago Bears. The Raiders actually have won 2 straight games. This will be an easy win for the Raiders. I'm picking Las Vegas. As much as I don't want to, I have to because I don't expect the Bears to win. Their offensive line is shot. I don't see the Bears winning this game, so I'm going to go with the Raiders. They will be 4-3. Yeah, this would be their 3rd straight win if they beat the Bears. So this would put them at 4-3. But the Chiefs hold sole possession of the AFC West at the moment. So, but I am going with the Raiders over the Bears. The Cleveland Browns, who put on a stunner against the San Francisco 49ers. I didn't expect either undefeated team to stay on. I didn't expect either undefeated team to lose, but they ended up beating the San Francisco 49ers 19-17. There were a couple penalties that I wasn't really fond of, but they are taking on the Indianapolis Colts, who are coming off a beatdown against Jacksonville, and I think I don't think that offensive line is going to stop that pass rush. That pass rush is outstanding. It's one of the best in the league. Despite the Browns being 3-2. But this would put the Browns at 4-2. But I'm not really sure If the Browns can make the playoffs, that's great. And as for Indy, this would put them at 3-4. Their bye week isn't until, I don't even know. But I'll go over the bye weeks this week as well. The 6 teams that are on bye weeks at the end. The Washington Commanders take on the New York Giants. I'm going to go with the Commanders. They beat the Falcons 24-16. I believe, or is it 24-14 or something? 24-16, I remember. And the Giants, they're not really good. They're 1-5. They think they're in last place in the NFC East. I don't know why I keep saying AFC. But they're in last place in the NFC East. Not as good a year as they were last year. I think the Commanders will win. That would put them, I think, at 4-3, but they're still very mid. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Commanders. The Giants will be 1-6. This is basically a typical Giants season. So they don't have any talent. Daniel Jones is probably not going to play. Tyrod Taylor looked okay, but not good enough to win. So the Detroit Lions take on the Baltimore Ravens. I am going to have to go with Detroit here. If Detroit wins and the Ravens lose, I think the Ravens currently have sole possession of the AFC North. But I believe if the Steelers beat the Rams, if the Rams lose and the Lions win, the Steelers will take over the AFC North. I think that because the Steelers have the tiebreaker over the Ravens because they beat them in week 5? Yeah, week 5. So I'm going to go with the Lions to beat the Ravens. This would put the Ravens at 4-3 and the Lions at 6-1. This is a great offense. This is a great team. I wouldn't have expected the Lions to win anything this year, like be atop the NFC North in a landslide. I wouldn't have never expected that, considering they're the Lions. I would have thought they would probably go 9-8, but they're 5-1. And they're really good. So, anyways, I am going to go with the Lions over the Ravens. I know the last time these teams met, Justin Tucker hit a 66-yarder to win the game 19-17. So Justin Tucker holds that record, by the way. So I am going to go with the Lions on this one. This isn't the 2021 Detroit Lions anymore. This is the 2023 Detroit Lions, and they're really good. So, but I'm going with the Lions. The Buffalo Bills take on the New England Patriots. This is a pretty easy one. I'm going with Buffalo. The Patriots aren't good. They haven't been all year. They've been really inconsistent. Their quarterback keeps throwing picks for absolutely no reason. They just lost to the Las Vegas Raiders for that reason. They could have won that game, but they didn't. Also, where's the offensive line? Is it non-existent? Is Cole Strange just not going to block in the interior? I mean, that's the only guy I know on that line, but Jesus, that team is awful. Like, They can't win games. It's impossible. Well, they're 1-5, but at least they're not the Carolina Panthers who are 0-6. But I'm going to go with the Bills. They will be 5-2. And the Patriots, they'll be 1-6. They'll probably be one of the first teams eliminated from the playoffs. So, the Arizona Cardinals take on the Seattle Seahawks. So I think the Cardinals face two division rivals in a row. So last week they got beat by the Rams, 26-9, and now they're playing the Seahawks. So I'm gonna pick Seattle. I know they lost to the Bengals, but I picked Cincinnati anyways, because they've been looking pretty decent so far. The Seahawks. I think the Seahawks beat the Cardinals here. This will put the Cardinals at 1-6. The only win they had was against Dallas in Week 3. That's because Dallas decided to lay down and die for absolutely zero reason. And then the next week they go and beat the shit out of New England. So I'm not really certain about the Cowboys this season. Also, they're one of the teams on bye week this week, so just so you know. Yeah, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks over the Cardinals. This would put them at 4-2. The Cardinals will be 1-6. The Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams over the Steelers. The Steelers, I don't expect the offense to do anything great because that offense is kind of mediocre. This will put the Steelers at 3-3 and the Rams at 4-3. Well, the Rams haven't had their bye week just yet, so I don't know when it is, but I'll know. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams over the Steelers. The offense is really bad in Pittsburgh. The Ravens decided to, they just didn't show up the second half of that Steelers game. That's why they won, but I don't know how they're 3-2. I would have expected them to be like 1-4 at this point, but they're 3-2. So, but as long as they have a successful season, they'll probably keep Matt Canada around, which Steelers fans want him fired. But pretty much all of Pittsburgh wants him fired, so. But I am going with the Rams over the Steelers. This will put the Rams. The Rams had a pretty convincing game against Arizona, even though it's just Arizona. They still won the game. They're 3-2. No, they're 3-3. So this will put the Rams at 4-3. The Steelers will be 3-3 because they have their bye week. Only 6 teams have had their bye week, so the next 6, it'll be 12 coming up. So the Los Angeles Chargers take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm already going with the Chiefs just because, they're the Chiefs, and they just beat the Broncos again. I think the last time Justin Herbert beat us was in that skid in 2021 when we started 3-4. We're not that team anymore. We're the reigning Super Bowl champions. So I am going to go with the Chiefs. They will be 6-1, and the Chargers, they will be 2-4. Wait, no. No, they're already 2-4. Never mind, because I think they had their bye week, if I remember correctly. So they'll be 2-4. Oh yeah, they did. They had an early bye. They had that week 5 bye. So yeah. But I am going with the Chiefs. To be 6-1 and in sole possession of the AFC West. We're gonna hold the record for most consecutive AFC West titles this year, I think. Because I don't trust the Chargers to win a game. I don't trust the Broncos to win. I don't trust the Raiders to come up and try and take the division from us. So we do have to play the Raiders this season, so twice. So, but I am going with the Chiefs here. The Green Bay Packers take on the Denver Broncos. I'm easily going with the Green Bay Packers here. The Broncos suck. They suck. And I'm not afraid to say that. They're 1-5. I think that lone win, I don't even remember who they beat. But I remember week 3 against the Miami Dolphins, they lost 70-20. And it was a beatdown. It was obviously a beatdown here. But I am going to go with the Packers here. They just had a bye week, so I think they're 3-2? Let me check. 2-3. Yeah, they're 2-3, and the Broncos they're 1-5. So this would put the Packers at 3-3. I don't see the Packers winning the division. I see the Lions winning the division, especially in this in the first 6 games. The Lions have been 5-1, and since last year, their record has been 14-9. It's been 14-9 over the past year and a half. So, yeah. Only 1 loss for the Detroit Lions. I don't understand it. This is not the normal. This is not the norm, but I kind of like it, actually. I like the change. But I am going with the Packers over the Broncos here. So, yeah, the Packers will be 3-3. The Broncos will be 1-6. They'll probably be eliminated from the playoffs very soon. The Miami Dolphins take on the Philadelphia Eagles, who also had a excruciating loss against the New York Jets, which I really did not expect. So that's why the only matchups I got wrong this past weekend are Eagles, Jets, 49ers, Browns, and Texans, Saints. I didn't expect the Texans to win that game, but again, I still really don't trust the Texans is kind of the reason. But I am going to go with Philly on this one. This will put the Dolphins at 5. These are both 5-1 teams. This is going to be a really good matchup. The Dolphins will be 5-2, and the Eagles will be 6-1. So the 49ers currently hold the number 1 seed in the NFC, probably because of the strength of schedule, but also because, actually no. Well, it really depends because, they haven't played each other yet. They're supposed to. They're supposed to play each other, and the Eagles are supposed to play the Chiefs. in Week 11. So you have the NFC Championship rematch, and then you have the Super Bowl rematch, because the Chiefs and Eagles both won their divisions. I think the Eagles are also on track to be the first repeat division champion since 2004. Every year since, it's been a different. Ever since 2004, it's been a different division winner. So they're on track to do that. They're on track to win the division consecutively for the first time in 20 years. Which is a really interesting stat, not gonna lie. But I am going with the Eagles. They'll be 6-1, and the Dolphins will be 5-2. But that won't. Hopefully, the Dolphins win the AFC East. I think they've been really good. Hopefully, they're not 5-12. They lose their next 10 games. It's just, Anyway, the last game of this week, Monday night, we have the 49ers taking on the Vikings. San Francisco 49ers take on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with the 49ers. I have to. I mean, despite that bad game against Cleveland, you have to root for the 49ers at this point. Because the Vikings, they're bad. They're also a bad team. There are a lot of bad teams this year. Hopefully, the Vikings lose, they will be 2-5. They just beat the Bears, who, they're the Bears, so that's why I picked Minnesota. As for the 49ers, yeah, they're gonna escape with the win if Christian McCaffrey's healthy. And hopefully Deebo Samuel is okay, because he was out with injury this past weekend against the Browns. So I think not having Deebo or Christian McCaffrey out there really hurt them. I mean, they still have Brandon Ayuk, who's been really good for them. So, but I am going to go with the Minnesota Vikings over the 49ers. Actually, no, I'm going to go with the 49ers over the Vikings. My bad. The Vikings will be 2-5. The 49ers will be 6-1. And now let's go over bye weeks. So the 6 teams that are on bye week are the Dallas Cowboys, the Houston Texans, the Tennessee Titans, the New York Jets, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Carolina Panthers. All 6 of these teams do not play this week. So that means if there are 6 teams that are on byes this week, then there are 13 games in this week alone. And then week 8, this is the second consecutive time that the Bucs. So heading into week 8, the Buccaneers take on the Bills, as you can see. This is the second time that the Bucs are featured on Thursday Night Football while it's been on Prime Video, because week 8 of last year, the Baltimore Ravens took on the Tampa Bay Bucs. And I think the Ravens won that game, so. Anyways, that's it for me. We'll see you guys next week. Week 8 is also, we're nearing Halloween, so come get your costumes ready. So anyways, we'll see you guys in the next video.